Court calls the case of the people versus.
All right, here we go. This is a bond violation hearing. One wrong sentence and he could be in custody today. Watch carefully. Is he about to help himself or talk his way into jail?
Versus Leo Stringa.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Athlete, Mr. Stringa, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record,
Court
sir.
calls the case of the people versus Leo
Thank you, Your Honor.
Stringa.
Today's the date and time Public Defender Natalie. Two cases are set for sentencing. Mr. Stringa, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Leo Stringa.
I have had the opportunity, Your Honor. Today's the date and time for alleged violations set for sentencing and two cases are set for violation of probation with Mr. Stringa. I have had the opportunity. I guess I will start with those first, Your Honor. The alleged violations and the recommendations. We do acknowledge that there are violations of probation with Mr. Stringa pending criminal matters. I guess I will start with those first, Your Honor. And we do acknowledge that does not mind. These things have been sent. We do acknowledge that there are the new criminal convictions and new pending criminal matters. And we do acknowledge that no proof on these things have been sent to probation. Mr. Stringa did indicate to me that he was going to try to get proof of on-farm outpatient treatment. However, the court I have not would consider yet to provide remanding Mr. Stringa. We do acknowledge as far as, yes, there are several violations would consider not remanding Mr. Stringa. We do acknowledge that the court, yes, there are, if you would consider violations alleged, and there's no getting around that. He does have some significant medical concerns he has been dealing with. I'm just asking that the court, if you would consider not imposing the jail time. He does have some significant medical concerns he has been dealing with. And we are just asking that the court would consider not imposing the changes to the PSI. And we do, as far as the two cases set for sentencing, Your Honor, I do not have any material changes to the PSI. As to the recommendation, my request would be similar. I would ask if the court would consider not imposing the jail
Your Honor, I
time.
would just like to make the court aware. It already knows. Mr. Stringa has been on probation for over Your Honor, I would just like to make the court aware. It's already knows. Mr. Stringa has been on probation for over the last year on the two in those cases, he's done that. He's not paid 1 cent on either case. The only thing that Mr. Stringa has done is picked up new criminal that he has high amounts on both cases. The only thing that Mr. Stringa has done is picked up new criminal about getting cases. He has conversations, I've had conversations with Mr. Stringa about getting the treatment, conversation never received he's doing these things
And there it is. The judge is losing patience. In court, talking too much can actually hurt you. The more you explain, the more chances you have to say the wrong thing. Would you have stopped earlier or kept going like him?
Probation never received anything from Mr. Stringa. So there was just go on and he stays in non-compliance. Given his past behavior and his continued criminal behavior, probation is asking that the court follow the recommendation for a jail sentence.
Mr. Stringa, anything you want to say?
Yes, Your Honor. As far as my current situation, I've been in and out of the hospital like 32 times. University of Michigan Hospital has cited. I've supplied the court with multiple, documentations of my current medical situation. My knee's bleeding through my pants right now. I have osteomyelitis. My bone's infected in my leg. And I didn't.
In that regard, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
in that regard, part of you haven't done any testing, you haven't done anything. Part of your reasoning behind that is basically saying you can't go out in public.
Right, Your Honor.
Well, we have your tracking, and you've been out in public. What were you doing at Briarwood yesterday?
I was trying to apply for a job online that I'm trying to do online. I had to go there and give them some paperwork.
Then why couldn't you go to community corrections?
I could, Your Honor. I don't have any money to pay for it. But I am so.
What you want to say?
But I do have, a PhD from Michigan, and I am a professor. I was on FMLA from Eastern, but I'm slated to go back. Hopefully I can do this in January 9th, so I'll be able to create an income. I have been sober. I tried to go to inpatient treatment. They wouldn't let me because of my skin condition, just to show the court that I was doing something. And I did send some paperwork with, that. I don't know if you didn't get it, but.
No.
Okay, Judge Barr's court got it, but, yeah, I made a lot of bad choices earlier in my life. I mean, not earlier in my life, earlier with these cases, but I'm on the other side of it as far as me as a person and me continuing to try to do better. I made a mess of the cases, and I didn't know that I was still actually on probation in this case. And it wasn't even really brought to my attention that I wasn't in compliance until I spoke with Ms. Polero maybe 2 months ago. So I thought I might have had time served on this, but it was another case that it was time served on. But I would just like to show.
This right here is the turning point. The judge isn't just judging the violation, he's judging character. The moment he stops blaming others and takes responsibility, that's what might save him. Be honest, would you have owned up sooner?
For you to give me a chance that I can do probation and that I can get through this and make myself a better person. I have so much going on medically right now too. I might. Yeah, it's a lot. I don't want to get into it, but. Well, at your mercy, Your Honor. I didn't, and this too, it's like, I didn't work so hard my whole life and, get a PhD and do all these things in life to throw it all away. And I want the opportunity to try to do this. And if you give me this chance, I won't prove you wrong.
You were sentenced originally in July 24th, 2024. Now here we are a year plus, almost a year and a half later, and you've done nothing except, as Ms. Blair indicates, just pick up new criminal charges. I'm done.
I thought I was time served. I thought the case was over with, Your Honor. I really did. Until I spoke with Ms. Polero 2 months ago, I didn't even know the case was still active. I made a mess, and I had like 4 or 5 retail frauds in Washtenaw County through different 14A, 14B, and 15th. I didn't know which one was which. And when I thought I had time served, I thought it was closed out because nobody told me anything different. And actually, I went to jail, was booked, and let go multiple times, and I never even had a warrant on this case. So I didn't even know that I wasn't in compliance. I didn't even know it existed.
You done?
Yes, sir.
So on the cases ending in 0962 and then 1452, since they have the same recommendation, I'll just do it once. On those, the probation cases, I'm going to revoke your probation. I'm going to sentence you to 365 days in jail, credit 82 days served, defendant to serve the balance. I will waive the remaining terms, accept the financial obligations, discharge you from probation without improvement. I will consider release to Dawn Farm inpatient treatment on those cases.
Thank you, Your Honor.
On the other matters, on the case ending in 0616, $125 statutory fee, 365 days in jail, credit 41 served, defendant to serve the balance. I'll consider release to Dawn Farm inpatient treatment. And on the last case ending in 1677, I'll order $125 statutory fee. I will apply the bond in that case. I'll order 365 days in jail, credit 2 days on that case, defendant to serve the balance. I'll consider release to Dawn Farm inpatient.
Your Honor,
Defendant is remanded.
can I ask you one thing? Just as far as the inpatient treatment, I have a misdemeanor warrant in another county, which I don't think they'll let me do. Is there any way I could do the Dawn Farms in jail program to get released that way? Is that feasible? Just because I know that you gave me bond conditions before to be released to treatment, and they wouldn't let me go because they said I had a misdemeanor warrant in another county. So I
I consider that another time, but I pronounce my sentence, defendant's remanded.
okay, thank you, my coat.
Thank